have a new deck for us. It is the Nefertari Tarot, this lovely like Egyptian tarot. Love it. So, I haven't done a lot of readings with it. Let's just see what kind of happens. And right before, I was kind of pre-shuffling your deck, and it said the number 3. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. It might have been that, but now they're back in the deck, huh? All right. You wanted me to count in Spanish for a second. Uno, dos, tres. Okay. The High Priestess. Look at her. Look at her and all her little jars and cups and everything. It was just saying, like, totally in the temple, serving up some wisdom, learning some things, right? Being so connected to the divine with this fabulous headdress on. Feathers just reach towards the sky, like definitely feminine energy all the way, learning intuitively, receiving some information, studying things, serving spirit and spiritual purposes. Yeah. 7 of Swords. It was implying that, like, this person was being interrogated by this bird. Like, there was a lot of questioning going on, interrogation, intense. It was saying like how this is Horus, and it was bringing up like the Eye of Horus, which is separate from the Eye of Ra. And I actually do need to kind of refresh my memory on the exact differences of that, but essentially both lead to protection and enlightenment in one way or another. Seven of Swords is always usually about defensiveness, but also kind of like some parlor tricks and stuff too, like some mischief. So it's implying that where before it looked like this person was being interrogated by this bird as if she was in the wrong and this bird is right, it's also implying that this bird is a little sneaky. Like, look at his eye. It said like mischievous, like this, like there's some twists and turns and right, sharp, devious thoughts. Like he's like really put her on the spot and surrounded her by these like sharp, pointy words and thoughts and questions. Right? It's like there's okay. It's like I feel like you could be either one of these figures. It just said at any time. So it was saying that's what it's kind of bringing up here. That's part of what this High Priestess, divine feminine energy, is bringing up. It's like you could be either one of these energies at any time. So that being said, that's the general energy that's kind of coming through. Some questioning, perceiving with this keen little eye, but also kind of in this, I'm really getting the sense of this like very sharp way, almost like a spy or someone putting their beak in where it doesn't belong, or their nose in somewhere where it doesn't belong. Like showing, it's almost like, it's like she's sitting in her bedroom on this little cushion or something. It's like she's sitting in her bedroom and this bird just like flew into the window and was like started just like, where have you been? What are you doing? Like all that. That's the energy I've got right here. And that's where the High Priestess is saying, you know, depending on what situation it is for you guys, you're one of these energies, but it was also implying like you can be either one of these energies at any time. Also implying that you could encounter both types of situations over this next energy cycle that I'm reading for, which is from the Aries full moon to the Libra new moon. So it just showed me the 7, and even though this is a 2, it kind of looked like an 11, but that's what it was saying, it backwards. So it was almost like feeling unlucky. Like feeling unlucky, like either being in this situation, being on either end of this. Interesting messages coming through for you, Sagittarius. And then that's where this one comes back in. It's like there's a conversation It's definitely like there's a feminine energy kind of speaking through all of this. It's like pointing all of this out, and then it wants to come back and be like, but you have to realize that, you know, like you've learned these spirit lessons before. You are always lucky. You are lucky if you believe you are lucky. You channel that energy down through spirit. You honor spirit and ask for luck. You know, you're grateful. You say thank you for things. Like there's and as much as this is like sharp, devious energy, it's also talking about like protecting yourself from that energy, right? And that's why you do honor the gods, and you honor spirit, and you honor your ancestors, and you just try to kind of do right by the book and stay connected to your higher self at all times, because you know that at either time you can either be the person asking questions and interrogating people because you're sensing things are awry, or you're this person where someone's like kind of flying in or running up on you and interrogating you and stuff all the time. So there's that energy. And you know what? This was on the bottom of the deck for you guys right before I started like laying your cards out, and here it is again. So that's what I mean. There's a tower that is coming down through all of this realization. It's like, it feels like a mental tower. It feels like a realization, like the recognition of all that energy I was just describing right here. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like through this energy, the tower comes down. And it just said, nice. It was being super vague. It was like, because you're either right or you're wrong. Right? And it feels both as like a statement that you might say out of your own type of mouth, but it also feels like spirit statement of saying like the tower comes down because whoever I'm reading for, it's like you're either right or you're wrong. I'm possibly reading for several people, so in general I think no matter what side you're on, the tower's coming down. And I think that's what the message is, and I think that's why this feminine energy is coming. It's like no matter what side you're on, this tower's coming down. Woo. And that's why it wants you to make sure you are like, yeah, like up and up on your spiritual connections and everything, because it's like no matter what side you're on, this tower's coming down. Whoa, whoa. Hang on, this card right here. What's this about, Spirit? Look at that beautiful Ten of Pentacles, though. This kind of came out here. Could be about like home and family. That's always usually represented in a Ten of Pentacles. Of course, it's very much about some happiness, but it's very much about like real world things. So this is either about literally like a whole bunch of money, or right, like a home or a business or something that's built on, you know, these full 10 Pentacles. Usually very much about that earthly fulfillment of happiness, the materialistic fulfillment of happiness, having everything that you physically need in reality, right? And that's where there's some, it's literally like making my nails like the beak. It's like there's some pecking energy. Even though this is a hawk, it's like, that's the whole thing. It's like there's some pecking kind of going on. And wow, that was weird. It just gave me, it was showing me this tree, and then it said, Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bushes, he. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra. Yeah, your life must be. Okay, so, and kookaburras are actually Australian, but it's talking about down under, which, talking about like Egypt, like underworld. So that's what I mean. There's, sorry, there's like a really complex message coming through about all these birds and that song and these pentacles. The kookaburra does sit in the tree and sings its little song, right? And that's the whole thing, is the song's about like, oh, your life must be so happy because you sit in the tree and sing about it all the time. And this is like, right, like this might be what it looks like on the surface, like these 10 of Pentacles, but it's actually a little bit more of this pecking energy, right? interrogation, fear, a little bit of some toxic energy kind of in there. And that's the whole thing, is like, I think it's really painted up, literally, like, you know, these are artworks. It's like, it's literally painted up to look like, wow, that was super interesting too, Spirit. It's like it's painted up to look really nice and really good, but it's actually more like this. And it was saying how this figure has transformed into this bird, and how this male figure is actually this woman. And then it was like, or it could go like all kinds of ways, right? So depending on who you are, it was just saying like all of these figures are fluid, so don't necessarily read them as like just women or just men or what have you. It's like they can all literally change at all the times. And that's what I was saying at the beginning of this reading. It's like, it just said Isis, which I did kind of call out to her right before I started these readings, because I've been trying to start working with her, and that's what I mean. It's like, that's the feminine energy that's here giving this lesson. Woo, it just pulled out that mom energy on me, right? That was the whole thing. It was like, honey, it's like you're lying to yourself. You're deceiving yourself. You think that this is a 10 of Pentacles, when really it's this energy right here. And that's the tower that has to come down, is you've got to kind of wake up and see what this really is. And I just wanted to pause, because I just kind of was like asking, I was like, are you sure? Because that was the thing. There's somebody saying like, are you sure? Because I was like, well, this 10 of Pentacles came out to clarify this. So maybe this is saying like, we actually feel like it's this, but it's actually a 10 of Pentacles, right? So I was like, maybe it can reverse if we're being so fluid. And it's kind of leaving it open-ended, but it's more or less implying that the way that I've said it is probably more accurate for most of you guys. Like, we, you, whoever thinks that it's more of this, when it's actually more of this. And then that's the thing, is you might be resisting that, because that's what this tower is. You're like, no, I know that it's fine, everything's fine, it's this, right? It's this 10 of Pentacles. It just said like, I'm supposed to be happy, this is a happy life, right? Like, that was the whole thing. It's like that's the tower. It's like, I'm supposed to be happy, I'm supposed to love this card, it's a 10 of Pentacles. I'm supposed to think that, yeah, this is like everything in the world. But that's where this Isis, like mom energy, is like, but that's not what you're really thinking and feeling inside. And that's part of this tower that has to come down. How interesting. That was a complex reading. Let's see if anything else wants to come up for you, Sagittarius. How do we kind of wrap this cycle up, I guess? Because, I mean, like, cool, there's a revelation, but, like, what are we doing about it, right? How are we moving forward out of this? The Devil. It's wanting me to really kind of sit and think on this one. Because because nobody wants to accept this card. Because no one wants to accept this card for what it is, right? How are we moving forward out of this? Well, there is some good energy that comes out of this Devil card. It's talking about recognizing your own needs, right? And that can definitely feel very selfish, very egotistical and stuff sometimes. Usually related to sex as a definition, general immorality, just, you know, things that ain't on the positive list, but not necessarily like evil. It's just things that ain't so healthy and good for you, right? How are you moving out of this? You're very much thinking and doing things for yourself, and you're doing it to make yourself feel good. Some of these things could be toxic. Some of these things could just be like natural earthly responses to things, right? It was just kind of saying the line of like, don't step on the crack or you'll break your mama's back. Wow. It just kind of made a little bit of a drug reference with that. Like as in the crack was like drugs. Like, don't step on the crack or you'll break your mama's back. How are you moving forward out of this tower? There's a lot of dark energy. Not dark, just heavy energy to clear, right? That's kind of what I'm getting. And it's saying to you right now, don't step on the crack or you'll break your mama's back. Whatever this metaphorical or figurative crack is to you, that could be anything, right? You could be a coffee addict, a caffeine addict, right? Whatever your quote unquote version of crack is, that's kind of what it's implying. Like, and that spirit telling you, like, don't step into that. Because that's how you're going to, it's just said like the connection, like that's how you're going to break the back, right? It's how you're going to break the spine. And the spine is where our chakra systems go up and everything. And that's where it's just saying like you'll be out of alignment. You're going to break the back. You'll be out of alignment. Let's put that over there. Let's do one more card. So try to avoid those habits, although it's also giving you comfort to say like there's a reason why we go to those places. There's equally things to learn from that energy. It's just you have to be careful with it or you'll put yourself in cycles you just don't want to be in, right? What's the other thing to kind of help us get through this tower or move forward or whatever? Yep, the Magician. That's what I mean. Look at him kind of like facing this off too. And they're like surrounding this energy. It's like, number one, you can face this energy that I was just talking about by mastering yourself, mastering your mind, mastering your spirit, mastering your emotions, mastering the real world, being that magician, making things happen for you, which would include this happiness, because look at that 10 of Pentacles, right? Nice, Spirit. It was just saying, like, you have the power to make this whole situation thing a 10 of Pentacles. But that requires you to not slip into these more toxic devil energies that just aren't healthy and good for you, because you're not going to get a good response or anything out of that. You need to really master yourself, really master those energies and face that off, because that is how you manifest this 10 of Pentacles for real, for whatever it is, whether it's this situation or something slightly different. It's just saying that's how you get the happiness, the money, and the 10 of Pentacles. All right. That's what I got for you, Sagittarius. Let me know how that resonates. Stay strong. Looks like a big, powerful shift for you. Master yourself. Right? Master yourself. And you can have a 10 of Pentacles. That's what I got for you guys. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe as it resonates for you. And if you want to get some notifications, ring that little bell on the side there so you can get updated when I do more readings. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.